All right, welcome back to the channel. So, Errol Spence Jr. says that if he's successful against Ugas, he is going to immediately send Terence Crawford the contract, which he also stated that since you ain't with Bob Arum, this fight should be easy to make. I'm going to break it down for y'all. Let's talk about it in this video. King Jr. got another video for y'all. Please sure that you like and subscribe to the channel to get all your latest boxing news. With that being said, Errol Spence Jr. wants to pursue Terence Crawford next if he's successful against Ugas, and he said that he's going to send Terence Crawford the contract after he's successful against Ugas. Now, Errol Spence says that he's confident that he'll beat Ugas, but he's not going to overlook Ugas. And a lot of boxing fans felt like that Errol Spence Jr. is overlooking Ugas, which he is not overlooking Ugas. He's just confident that he can beat Ugas, and he doesn't want to discredit Ugas because Errol Spence Jr. set out to, since day one, he wants to pursue Terence Crawford. He wants Terence Crawford. He's willing to make the fight with Terence Crawford. He'll do anything to make a negotiated deal with Terence Crawford. He's willing to be the best of the best at the welterweight division, and I felt like that Ugas was overlooking Errol Spence with all the stuff he was going on or rant a few months ago about that he could beat southpaws easy and stuff like that. Well, Derek James has to say Ugas is a great fighter, but Derek James says he has never fought a plus, well, I would say an S plus southpaw fighter like Errol Spence Jr. Yeah, he fought southpaws. He may be decent against southpaws, but he hasn't fought a southpaw like Errol Spence Jr. And Errol Spence Jr. is confident that he can beat Ugas. And I'm glad both of these guys, Ugas and Errol Spence Jr., are willing to fight Terence Crawford next. Ugas says if he's successful against Errol Spence Jr., he is going to call out Terence Crawford and willing to make the fight with Terence Crawford. He told Terence Crawford, you better not duck me or anything like that because I'm coming for you next because I want undisputed as well. Errol Spence Jr. today recently said that he wants Terence Crawford next. He's going to send the contract once the fight between him and Ugas is in the history books, and he's going to try to see if he can get a deal done. And the question begs to differ is what is next for Terence Crawford. A lot of people feel like that Terence Crawford should wait for Errol Spence Jr., which I don't think he should. Is Terence Crawford going to wait for Errol Spence Jr. between the winner of Errol Spence Jr. and Ugas? A lot of people, I've been hearing a lot of people say that Terence Crawford is going to sign with Pro at Bellum or stuff like that. And the question begs to differ on that is, who is Terence Crawford going to sign with? Is Terence Crawford going to stay a network promotional free agent, or he's going to take a fight-by-fight deal with Top Rank, DAZN, or Pro Bellum, or Showtime, or PBC, whoever Terence Crawford signs with, because somebody's going to have to bid for this fight. Somebody's going to have to willing to make this fight happen, and Terence Crawford needs to sign with somebody. Now, a lot of people recommend Terence Crawford being a per network promotional free agent. I think it would be best to make the fight that way. I really would be disappointed if Terence Crawford does sign with Top Rank once again, and a lot of people felt like that Terence Crawford could potentially have a fight with Josh Taylor and stuff like that. I don't see that fight happening. It could potentially happen between Josh Taylor and Terence Crawford. Josh Taylor says he's not willing to stay at 140 any longer because he just can't make the weight. He said he was willing to give Jack Catterall a rematch at 143 to 144, but it's not going to be for the belt. So that was a waste of time for Jack Catterall to try to either get a rematch with Josh Taylor. And a lot of people would rather see Terence Crawford in a stay busy fight. There's a lot of names out there: Virgil Ortiz Jr., Jaron Ennis, Josh Taylor, and so many more names in the welterweight division. And he can even fight that bum Blair Cox who lost or whatever or not. But the case may be for Terence Crawford. What is next for Terence Crawford? I feel like that Josh Taylor could potentially interrupt the undisputed showtime between Terence Crawford and, well, I don't know about it, but he could potentially move up to 147 pounds and fight Terence Crawford before Errol Spence Jr. and Yordenis Ugas is finished and stuff like that. I have Terence Crawford beating Josh Taylor. I seen Josh Taylor performance against Jack Catterall, and I feel like that Josh Taylor is going to lose against Terence Crawford. And the fact of the matter is that we could potentially see a showdown with Josh Taylor, whatever, if he's going to move up to 147 pounds and stuff like that, because he is the WBO champion at 140 pounds. And so who knows what's going to be next for Terence Crawford? Is Terence Crawford going to will to stay inactive to wait on Errol Spence Jr., or he's going to have a stay busy fight before that fight does come to fruition? But with that being said, guys, Errol Spence Jr. says that he's going to send Terence Crawford a contract after he's successful against Yordenis Ugas, which he's not overlooking Yordenis Ugas. He just feels like that he's confident that he can beat Yordenis Ugas. And I'm fully 120% confident that Errol Spence Jr. will be successful against Yordenis Ugas and will bring those belts back to Texas where he belongs at. And then he will try to get this deal done with Terence Crawford, and we could get an undisputed showdown at 147 pounds. With that being said, guys, it is what it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is your boy King Jr. I'm out of here. Peace.